Hello, everybody. It's me and Benny back with you today for another reading. So, whatever comes up, don't force it to resonate, but you're here for a reason. So, just let anything sink in that needs to sink in. Sometimes my readings can be highly specific, other times they're really general, but I never know ahead of time. So, we'll see what comes through for today. All right, we've got inner strength coming forward. That's beautiful. I want to pick one more oracle card. And hopeful. That's absolutely beautiful. All right, let's see what's coming forward with this. Automatically, when I see hopeful, I think that a lot of you all might be very connected to the sky. There might be an aspect of experiencers, like some of you here might be experiencers. You might have seen uh, different things that people didn't think existed. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting for this. I'm feeling that this reading might have to do with the collective more so, but a specific collective that have been experiencing certain things, maybe an internal awakening, and you've been maybe meeting other people that are experiencers in this way, but it's been something that's really hard to navigate in your day-to-day life. With inner strength coming forward, it's been hard. It's changed you. What you've seen, what you've gone through has totally changed you. But it's really also made you look at the world from a different perspective and really just see. And I come from a very like Christian background. So the word coming to mind is like see the sin, see the darkness, and see the contrast between the light and the dark, to see all the pain that people are going through, to see everything that you've emerged out of, and that whatever this is that has brought this awakening to you, it's so insanely beautiful because it's happening. Like, it's happening to a lot of different people, but it definitely feels like individualized. But whenever you talk to other people, you're like, whoa, this happened to you too. Like with the hopeful card, we have all these lights in a jar and they're floating up and they're being released, and or you can look at it as they're being collected, right? So these individual souls might be coming together and realizing like, wow, we've been awakening on our own, and together we're creating this huge light, this huge ball of fire, this momentum, this energy that we're creating as a collective. And that's so extremely beautiful. Lovers on the bottom of the deck. So this union, right? This like duality, this connection that's going on, that is definitely been building on a soul level. So I'm sensing that some of you all might have found your sacred group of people. This could also be a partner that you've been experiencing these certain things with. Um, and this reading is interesting because it is very hyper specific in the sense that I'm talking to people here that have gone through an awakening experience or are undergoing an awakening experience currently. But at the same time, it's very much a collective reading in the sense that all of these people are waking up on their own and they're coming together and they're talking about it. And they're kind of in shock, like this sense of, oh my goodness, how is this happening? How did you go through the same thing? How did we not know? How did we feel so isolated, so alone for so long? And now we're realizing that all these other people had the same experience. There's this force, this underlying force that, like the inner strength card has the tree on it. And, trees have this force within them that makes them grow. It turns the sunlight, into the nutrients that they need, into the nitrogen to grow the plant, for it to be able to produce blooms, for the roots to be able to spread. Trees are these like energy converters, And we are very much the same way, right? And so I'm getting the sense that, hey, Benny, that we are now like converting this energy and we're healing the earth. The inner strength card has the roots that are lit up. And this is exactly what I see. Like there's this energy that is being fed to humanity right now. Like we're all individual souls that are awakening one by one, and we're forming a collective. And this collective that we're forming, this light, is actually healing the earth. And I'm very much seeing the grids on the earth that are being like fixed and mended, like reconstructed. Um, it makes me think of my mom. She had an underground fence for her dog, and when she had to fix it, all they had to do was go in and just connect it, right? Like there are these connections that are happening that are allowing this current to flow into the earth for the first time in like thousands of years, is what I'm seeing with this. And it's an individual thing. It starts off as an individual thing that turns into this like collective thing. Six of Wands coming forward, victory and success. This is definitely coming into the public eye. Like the Six of Wands is really about something being recognized. It could be an individual, it could be a thought, it could be something that you're passionate about, something that someone brought to fruition. And with this, I'm seeing that it was definitely like a collective that brought this forward. There have been a few people that had to be strong and were the first ones to come forward, right? And then now it's like, wow, so many people are experiencing this. So many people know it to be true. And part of this is disclosure, right? Like, this is definitely a big aspect of us waking up. The Hierophant coming forward, yeah, like, there's this aspect of somehow this is connected to certain hierarchical structures in religion. There's an aspect of this that is a teacher to us, that's trying to tell us something, that's trying to show us something. And with the Hierophant, sometimes it can be hard to understand. Like there these people or whatever they are, these beings that are giving us this information are at such a different level from us that sometimes there's like a communication barrier, and a lot of ways, the easiest ways for them to communicate with us is through emotionality, right? Is through like feeding us images, through the subconscious mind. And that's definitely what I'm seeing here. Like there's this element of hidden knowledge or hidden wisdom that is being fed to this group right now. I'm also seeing that it's going to take down religious structures. And we've been watching this for a little while already. We've been seeing that a lot of the religious structures are starting to crumble or just adapt. And I don't even like to use the word crumble, because I feel like the religious structures that we have serve a really wonderful purpose in a lot of ways, and in other ways, they don't. So they can be negative and positive, right? But a lot of the people that are participate in those religious structures are incredible people, and a lot of them aren't. You know, it really is an individual thing as well. But what the religious structures give us is a window to perceive this stuff through, and it's almost like a safety net. And I'm really sensing that a lot of us are kind of reaching this point. I just pulled the Nine of Cups reversed, like reaching this point of stagnancy, like the collective, this lack of inner joy, and they're looking out, and they don't, they're looking through their lens and they don't like what they see. So I feel like a lot of people are kind of taking off the glasses at this point, and they want to see the truth. They want to know what is actually real, because the truth affects everything. I mean, it affects where we perceive that we go after our life. It affects how we interact with the people around us. It affects how we think about ourselves and our own history as a human species, right? This is so fascinating. I want to know what else is coming forward with this. What else is coming forward? How can we better spread this beautiful energy? So nine of wands, I sense that there is a lot of defensiveness, um, especially with something like disclosure. A lot of people don't really want to admit that it's real. I'm also sensing that there's a group that might be guarding a lot of information. Of course, we already know that this is true. Um, and we might be guarding our own inner states. Like everyone's very much on the edge, and we don't really know exactly what this is, right? There's no words to explain this. Like these experiences that we're having are very odd, and we can't really put them into words. It's very much like a lot of people who have had maybe experiences with certain substances that expand their mind. You see that stuff, but you can't really explain it. Like it's really hard to explain the things you're seeing, even in the dream state, right? You can see that stuff, but it's really impossible to explain a lot of times your dream, but you can see it so vividly. And that's the sense that I'm getting with this. It's like we can, when we get this information, we know that it's true, but we can't really go to anyone else and prove that it's true, right? Like they have to go through their own journey, and there's a lot of defensiveness. People aren't really wanting to go through that, especially the people who are more dogmatic is what I'm seeing. And so there's kind of like a fight coming forward, but the people, the souls that are represented in this hopeful card are the ones that are going to allow this to spread. Like I see it spreading through the earth, almost like the mycelium network that connects, all the trees and all the plants together. I see it very much spreading. The Hierophant coming up again, you guys. So there's definitely an emphasis on structures that might be changing. Again, I don't like to use the word collapsing, but changing for sure. All right, so we had interesting. So we had the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups come forward. Wow, Eight of Swords is definitely like entrapment, feeling like you're trapped, feeling like blinding yourself. And the interesting thing with the Eight of Swords is the person could just take off the blindfold and leave at any time. It's not like anyone is keeping you trapped, right? It's just like your thoughts, your concepts, your ideas, your glasses that you're perceiving, your worldview, right? That you're perceiving the world from. This is the only thing that's holding the collective back in a way. And with the Eight of Cups, there needs to be this, like we need to drop this. We really need as a collective to walk away from this. I feel like we need to go into this with no expectations on what it is, no expectations on what it's going to lead us into, and just kind of see what happens, like see what unfolds, and be receptive to what unfolds. I also get a sense with the Eight of Swords that there's definitely an energy that wants to keep people in the dark, and this has come forward with previous cards, right? There's this energy that wants to keep us stagnant, that doesn't want us to explore the universe, the world that we're in. And this is going to change. Like even the fact that this is coming forward and the Eight of Cups was pulled literally right after it, this is about to change. Like we are about, as a collective, to flip the switch. And I often think of, I don't remember who said this, but it was one person that works at the Monroe Institute that was saying that as soon as we get that 51%, everything flips. And in some cases, we don't even need that 51%. Like you just need to build the momentum of people who want to really see the truth for the truth and to know what's going on within our world. And consciousness is going to flip. Like it's going to be, the flip of a switch. And in perspective, right? Like right now, it feels like everything is coming out really slowly, like it's, like an IV drip effect. But I feel like in the future, looking back, we're going to be amazed about how much we've learned and how far we've come and how we're healing and changing the planet. King of Cups coming forward, compassion, control, and balance. So with these hierarchical structures, there's this, I feel like there's this push right now um, away from this control aspect, away from this Piscean energy, right? And control definitely has its purpose. Control can be helpful, but in the King of Cups is this beautiful balance between control and emotion. So it's this beautiful balance between the masculine and the feminine energies that encompass the earth. And for so long, we've been in this extremely masculine Piscean energy, and we're shifting. And I feel like the scales need to balance. We can't go too far into the other energy, but they need to beautifully balance for us to kind of step into this new earth. All right, let's pull a couple more cards and see what's coming forward for us. So we got the Seven of Cups. Wow, in the Justice card. Dang. So with the Seven of Cups, I'm definitely sensing that there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of concepts about what this could be, about how it's affecting us as humanity, right? As a human race, how it's going to affect the earth. There's a lot of fear. Like some of these cups have really cute cats in them. Some of them have wizard hats. Some of them have castles. Some of them have snakes. So everyone is kind of projecting onto what this is. And it feels like it's something kind of out of our reach at this point. Like we're just projecting our fears. We're like almost like this phenomenon is acting like a mirror to our subconscious mind. And so those of us who are grateful, live in gratitude, live in love, might see something positive, and those of us who are in fear might see something negative. So there's very much this mirror effect that's going on with the phenomenon. And this makes me think of the concept of what if this is just us? What if the phenomenon is just us waking ourselves up in some way, sense, or form? Like that's something I definitely think about quite a bit. With the Justice card coming forward, it's this truth that's emerging, this balance that I was talking about. Uh, did you poopy? Okay, now you did it. It's this beautiful sense of like cause and effect that whatever this is has been planned for a really, really long time. It's like been in motion for a really long time. And there's this beautiful sense of balance that's going to be coming into the earth. And it might look scary, like whenever the Justice card comes forward, some people are like, oh, justice, that's the balancing of the scale. It can be very firm, like the hammer, the justice hammer. It can be very, very firm when it comes down, but it reveals the truth, right? And so that's what I'm seeing with this. It might be a little bit of a shock. I feel like we're all ready for it, especially those of you who are being a light in the universe right now. Like you are so ready for this. You are so ready to spread that inner wisdom and inner strength to the world. And you've been doing it already just by the things that you've been interested in recently, the ways in which you've been teaching and showing the people around you about what this is or what it could mean for us, and just sharing your love and sharing your light. So that's what I'm seeing for this. This was a very interesting reading. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I love you very, very much. Have a good one.